Get started with the session itself, and with our warm-up that we usually do here, make sure we've plenty of space around us so we're not going to hit anything or anyone. And we'll start moving our arm around in a circle, nice and gentle, nice and controlled, in the best that we can here. And as always with this, if you can't get a full circle, just get a smaller one, whatever you can do. Don't try and overdo it here. This is just about sending the blood flow to that shoulder joint, get everything moving, sending everything that it needs via the blood, and just getting it all nice and warmed up and ready here. Excellent work. Yeah, let's change direction with that arm. So just doing the same thing, just in the opposite way. And for those who have clearly very dearly missed me over the last 2 weeks, this is me today on, well, I should say this Wednesday the 5th, because if you're watching this in the future on the recording, then it won't be me in the present. But for those in the Zoom class today, it is me. It's not previous me or past me, it's current me. Okay, let's switch over to the other arm and getting that one going around as well. Yeah, welcome into those who are joining us. Nice work. And with that same arm, let's go the opposite way around. And again, moving it around, whatever you can do. Sometimes it's better on one side than the other. Some days we have better than others. And that's due to so many little factors, big factors that all go into how we feel on each day. So if you do feel different on one day from the other, just understand that's just part of life and part of, especially as a wheelchair user, or if whatever your disability or whatever it may be, it doesn't help in that situation. So next movement here, we're going to reach over towards the opposite shoulder. And as always, getting over the best you can. But if you can't reach all the way over, you can come to the near shoulder or just as far as you can with that. Still comfortable though. We don't want to overstretch it or overdo it too much. We just want to move it nice and gentle. But if it's too much to bring it up, we can always bring it across instead. But the main thing is that elbow's getting some bending in there and we're warming up that elbow joint. Nice work, everybody. Okay, let's take one arm here. We're going to swing it forwards, reaching up the best you can and swinging it back down and repeating through. I'll come to the side as well so you can see what I'm doing, especially at the lower point. So I'm swinging it back, swinging it up. And it's just a slight variation on the first movement we do because we get a bit of a stretch as we bring it straight up and a bit of a stretch in the shoulder as we bring it down. As you go back and forth between the two, just warming up those muscles a little bit as well as the joint. Okay, let's switch over to the other arm and repeat on that. And again, doesn't matter if one side you can do better than the other or if it feels looser or tighter or whatever it may be. Just do the best you can on each side. And funny enough, my right shoulder hurts for a slightly different reason today. I went to see my friend's newborn child and I was holding it like this, dear life, like, do not drop the baby. So it's like my shoulders are aching a bit just from trying, just being extra safe. So, I was like, my shoulder doesn't matter in this situation. Much more important things. So, but I knew we had this warm up before the session today, which will help to loosen things off before what we got in store for it. Okay, let's bring it in for a hug. Arms out to the side and repeat through, getting a little bit of stretching in the chest, in the back as well. As we go back and forth between the two, shoulder joints are still getting warmed up here. Elbow joint a little bit as well as you bring that hug in. That's good. Getting lots in here and helping everything moving nicely. Good work. Now let's go into our shoulder rotations, getting them moving around as well. And whichever direction you're going in, let's change that and go the opposite way now. And then let's give that a little bit of shake out as we go and grab our poles now, or pole equivalent, or if you're not using a pole, don't grab anything at all. Let's see if I can make this a bit better there on that. Alrighty, so we are going to be doing 14 minutes here, and we're going to be sticking at our 5 out of 10 pace. For those who already know what that means, for everybody else, I will explain it as we get into this now. So we've got 14 minutes. We'll be changing the exercise every minute, but we'll be sticking up the same effort level all the way through. So it's 5 out of 10 effort, which is not hard. It's not easy. It's somewhere in between the two. And I feel like that's my catchphrase for this part of the session here that I always say. So we will be going into that with our poles, and I will be guiding you through each and every exercise as we do it. So press and start there. We've got 15-second timer, and we're going to start with the exercise we always do here, which is our paddling forwards and rotating those hands around. And we'll be going in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So just moving those arms around at a nice consistent pace. And again, not hard, not easy, in between the two. So it's what we would consider some sort of warm-up pace. Slowly builds the heart rate up. That helps to, bring the heart rate up. That means the heart's pumping faster, which means it's sending more blood around the bodies, which is sending with it the oxygen, the nutrients, and everything that our body needs in whichever area it needs it in, which at the moment is the bits that we're using. And it makes sure that they can run much more efficiently and much more effectively as we go through the warm-up, and we'll be a lot more prepared for when we start to do some harder stuff afterwards. Good work. We've got 10 seconds to go here. On the next one, same movement, opposite direction in 4, 3, 2, 1. So again, backwards now with those arms, and just keep it going around again. Nice consistent pace. 5 out of 10 effort, not hard, not easy, in between the two. Good. Looking good there, everybody, so far, which is great to see. And try and keep those with these circles. We don't want to go like huge, but we don't want to go too small. So just go sort of, again, in between the two. Somewhere that just feels comfortable, that you can hold throughout the whole of each of the minute. That is perfect to be at. Good. And that's going to look different for everybody as well. You know, we maybe have different abilities or different conditions or whatever it may be that maybe prevent a little bit of movement in one side more than the other. So don't worry about looking exactly like me. Just do the best that you can do and what feels comfortable. Okay, we've got 5 seconds here. Both arms around together forwards. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So both arms around together and just moving it around there. Nicely, good. Keep that going. I'm just going to adjust my position. I started rolling off into the distance. Good work. Coming up to halfway through this one. Just keep those arms going round nice and consistently. Again, with this, like I said on the previous one, don't have to go massive with these circles. Don't go too small. Just a nice, comfortable range of motion. And try and keep it smooth as well. We don't want to go like, ooh,
10 seconds.
We want to come nice, smooth movements. Okay, we're going to be changing direction in 3, 2, 1. Swapping it around, going backwards. Nice work. And it's exactly the same as the previous one, but the opposite direction. So again, keeping it smooth, keeping those circles a nice, easy size that you can maintain throughout the whole thing. And keeping that speed at that 5 out of 10 effort. Good. Coming up to halfway through this one. That's the halfway point. Excellent. Okay, we're coming up to about 15 seconds to go. On the next one, we are going to be doing some canoeing, which is where we paddle down to one side like we're in a canoe. Okay, we're going to be doing that. 3, 2, 1. Changing here, so we're going to come down. Imagine you got a paddle on the end of your stick or your pole or your tea towel or t-shirt, whatever it may be, and you're putting it in the water in front of you and you're pulling it back just like that canoe paddling motion. Good work. Okay, coming up to halfway through this one now. So keep it moving. Same side still. Keep that going. Nice consistent pace. When we get round to the next minute, we will switch over. But we got another 16 seconds here, so we'll just keep this going. Nice consistent pace. Still that 5 out of 10 effort. Doing good range of motion on here. But ready to switch over in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Switching over. And keep it moving. Good. And sometimes, especially with this one, because it's a bit more of a complex movement, sometimes it can feel a bit more awkward on one side than the other. Just go with the best that you can do here. You know, even if it is a smaller range of motion or a little bit more robotic, whatever it may be, just try and keep it as smooth as you can. Try and keep that pace there at that 5 out of 10 effort. And outside of that, it does not need to be perfect. Okay. We've got 10 seconds to go here. On the next one, we're going to do some punching forwards, alternating the hands. In 3, 2, 1. So go one hand forwards, then the other, alternating between the two and reaching it forwards the best we can. Now, if you can fully extend those arms, do so, but do it safely. We don't want to force it into that position. So nice, good extension. But if you can't fully extend those arms, get to where you can with it, whether that's for balance reasons or your ability to fully lengthen the arm, whatever it may be. Just do what you can here to extend those arms. Good work. 15 seconds to go. On the next one, we are going to be doing the same action, but instead of punching forwards, we're going to be punching up. 3, 2, 1. So going up. Now, if you can get above your head, that's great. But if you can't, do not worry. Just get to where you can. If that's chest height, head height, or even lower, wherever it may be, just get to where you can on this. Extend those arms the best that you can do. And then bring it back down. So still good range of motion, however that looks for yourself. And as always, sticking at that 5 out of 10 pace on this. And I have a good reason for always repeating that. Sometimes we can lose focus a little bit and drift our mind and go, like, oh, actually, I'm not getting 5 out of 10 pace. I'm going too fast or too slow. And it's like, oh, that helps to put me back on track. So just helping you out to keep reminding you during this. Okay, we've got another 5 seconds here. The next one we're going to do is double arm forwards, double arm overhead. 3, 2, 1. So go forwards, and then we go up. Forwards, and then up. And again, extending your arms the best that you can do here. So if that's just a little range of motion, if that's what you can do, then that's what you can do. If you can do more, do more. But always make sure that you're feeling comfortable, you're not causing any discomfort or pain in your shoulders. Just make sure that you're getting the movement in here. And with these movements, they're all different movements, and that's more to keep it interesting. It does work different muscles in different ways. Some are harder than others, and some test the balance and all that. But generally, the idea here is to warm ourselves up. So if it doesn't look exactly like how I'm doing it, then it's not an issue because we're still warming up here. Okay, on the next one, we're going to do circles in a clockwise direction. 3, 2, 1. So we're going to come round in a circle in a clockwise direction. Good work. Sorry, I explained that one a little bit too close to the minute. Trying to get 2 weeks worth of missing talking to you guys into each one of these minutes. Nice work. Okay, we're halfway through this one now. Keep it going in that clockwise direction. Good work. 15 seconds to go. On the next one, you may have guessed, we're going to go in the opposite direction. And that will be in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Change direction. And for me, I'm going anti-clockwise, and for you, you're going counterclockwise. But we can all agree we're going the opposite to clockwise anyway. Good work. Keeping it moving there. Excellent stuff, everybody. Okay, halfway through this one. After this, we've got 3 more to go. So keep it nice and consistent, keeping it moving, as you've already been doing throughout this session. On the next one, we're going to do a straight arm raise. That's where we keep our arms not necessarily straight, but we're not going to bend at the elbow. And we're going to go from our lap overhead, or at least the best we can. In 3, 2, 1. So we start here, raising it up, and then back down. And notice how my elbows aren't bending here. They can be bent, but they're not bending to do the movement. They're just going straight up and straight down, just like so. That's why we call it the straight arm raise. Even if our arms are bent, it's okay. Good. And the reason we do it like this, rather than like just bending the arms up, is because it just shifts the focus onto the front deltoids a little bit more here. They could do with that little bit of exercise. Good. Okay, on the next one, In 15 seconds time, we're going to do one called, I don't really have a proper name for this one. We'll call it a big X, but I feel like it needs a better name. But we're going to do 3, 2, 1. So we come diagonally up and across, and then down. Diagonally up across the other side and down. And it kind of makes a big X in front of you, or you can think of it as you're doing like an infinity sign or a number 8 on its side. Good work. Okay, halfway through this one. So we've got one more to go after this one. And for that last one, I want you to choose an exercise that you enjoy to do for the last one. So whether it's one that challenges you, one that you just like, whatever it may be, choose one for your last one. And if you don't know what to choose, you can follow along with me. And I'm just going to go back to the beginning with the exercise. Do the first one. 3, 2, 1. So I'm just going to do some paddling forwards. But if there's a different exercise you prefer, absolutely go for that. Good work. So this is our final minute of this part. So this for those who don't know, it sort of concludes the warm-up part of our session. So we do have quite a long warm-up. It's split into 2 parts. We've got the mobility part, and then this part, which is the heart rate raising part. And it kind of blends the 2, like warm-up and the more main set together as such. So it's kind of in between the 2. And it's just how we structure these sessions. And there is a whole heap of science behind it why these are the best ways to warm up. But we got finishing there in 3, 2, 1, resting there. So if you need a drink, I always recommend bringing a drink. I always recommend drinking in milliliters anyway, half a liter. So about that during the hour. And that just helps to keep things flowing in our body, helps keep things hydrated.
How do you call them pints?
Oh, so in England we do this thing where we use both imperial and metric for various different things. So if you are buying milk or beer, it's in pints. But if you're buying like juice or water, it's in milliliters and liters. Just, just to confuse everybody. That's basically. I know that like a lot of people say like because obviously you guys use the imperial system for a lot of like all those that the older systems as such for a lot of things, but at least you don't use 2 systems. Like, it's it makes us good at converting things though. We're good at doing.
We're confused enough.
Yeah. Yeah, it just means that our maths conversion skills, but apparently I still can't do Celsius to Fahrenheit when we do our what the temperature is. Okay, we're going to move on to some interval training now, which is where we do a little bit of hard work and a little bit of rest and alternate between the 2. This is a great way to get the heart rate up and to essentially work on our cardiovascular conditioning. So it helps to get the heart and the lungs nice and healthy, which is one of the main things that we can do to essentially keep ourselves healthy overall. It helps to battle off a lot of different health conditions. And as people that live a more sedentary lifestyle, just because of our situation, whatever it may be, because of that, we don't get as much cardiovascular work just in our day-to-day life. So getting these sort of workouts in is really important to get that heart rate up, get the blood pumping around our body, and to help protect our heart and lungs. And this is one of the best ways that we can do it is interval training. I'm going to keep it nice and simple today. We're going to do 30 seconds of hard work, so best effort that you can do, and then we're going to have 30 seconds of rest. We're going to go through that 10 times to make 10 minutes total. We're still using our poles, so keep those or whatever you're using handy. And we're going to go in 15 seconds time. We're going to do some of the same exercise we've already done, but a lot faster now. So we're going 15 seconds, starting with that paddling forwards like we started on the first one, and as fast as you can go, however that looks for yourself. And we're going here in 3, 2, 1. Off we go, moving those arms around, nice and speedy, nice and fast, and really starting to, maybe not in this first one or even the second one, but when we get into like number 3, number 4, you can really feel maybe that heart's pumping a little bit more, the blood's rushing around your body, you're breathing heavier, and you're generally feeling like you're getting that work in, which is good. But sometimes it'll take a little bit of time. 3, 2, 1, resting there. So that's our first one done. We get 30 seconds of rest, which is just about enough just to rest us enough. So on the next one, we can continue that high effort, because if we did like 30 seconds of max and only had 5 seconds of rest, for example, we probably wouldn't be able to hold that high pace. And that high pace is where we're going to get the heart rate up. Okay, going backwards next. 3, 2, 1. Off we go as fast as we can go. However that looks for you. And do not compare your speed to my speed. There's people here that are faster than what I do. Some people who are doing similar pace. Some people who are not as fast. And that is absolutely fine. We're all different levels of ability, different places on our fitness journey. It's all about pushing yourself here to the best that you can do. And we're going to continue that for another 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good. And I always like to encourage that when you hear that 3, 2, 1, you don't slow down into the end. You almost speed up into the end. You want to really like explode through the finish line. Good. And that's going to make sure we maximize that 30 seconds. 10 seconds to go of our rest. We're going to do both arms around together on the next one. Let's keep that speed up and move ourselves quick. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Nice quick arms again. Really trying to push what you can do here. And get yourself moving nice and quickly. That's good. Fantastic, everybody. As I'd say, see blurry hands, blurry poles on screen. That means that either your internet's not going well or you're doing well in terms of your speed. I'm just going to hope it's the second one. 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good. Excellent work so far, everybody. On the next one, same movement, opposite direction. Good work. 15 seconds to go. So opposite direction on this next one, keeping that speed up, keeping that heart rate up. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. That's it. Nice work. Keep it moving. Keep pushing it the best that you can do here. Excellent. Halfway through. Keep it going. Absolutely fantastic here. Almost there now into the end of this one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work, everybody. All righty. So we do quite a lot of interval training. And as I said, it's one of the best ways to really sort of do that cardiovascular conditioning. By the way, on the next one, we're going to do the canoeing down to the left. But yeah, it's a really fantastic way. We've got lots of different ways we can achieve it as well. But we're going here on this next one in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. That's it. Moving that round. The best that we can do. Excellent work. Keep that moving there. Getting that speed up, getting that heart rate up, getting things moving. And keep it going for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good. Switching over to the other side for the next one. Again, just doing the best that you can do in terms of range of motion and especially for speed, getting ourselves moving nice and quickly throughout the whole of the 30 seconds. So don't let yourself drop off on that pace. Try and stay focused and staying on the speed that you start with in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Paddling here in that canoe, pretending we're going nice and fast. That's it. Nice work, everybody. Doesn't work. Halfway through this one. Okay, and 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Nice work. Okay, we've got 4 more to go on this one. On the next one, we're going to come round clockwise direction for the first one of this. Fantastic work so far. Let's make sure we are keeping that speed up. Again, all the way through the 30 seconds. Are we ready? In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. That's it. Good work. Move those arms around. Doing absolutely fantastic here with this. Nice and quick. It's all about getting that heart rate up, making sure we're holding it all the way through the 30 seconds and getting just about enough rest so we can make sure we hit it hard again on the next one. So make sure it is hard. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. All right, on the next one, same movement, opposite direction. And continue the fantastic work that you're already doing on this session so far. Okay, we've got 10 seconds to go. The opposite direction now. Ready in 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Nice and fast again. Keeping it moving. Good work. Halfway through. Keep those arms moving nice and quick. Keeping that heart rate up. Keeping our blood pumping. And keeping focused on getting good range of motion on this. 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good. Okay, we've got 2 more to go. On the next one, we're going to do double arm forwards, double arm overhead, and then repeating through that. Good work. Let's make sure we do these last 2 as good as we've done the first 8. And make sure we are pushing ourselves nice and hard through this movement. This one's a bit of a harder movement, so really make sure you focus. 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Good work. Keep it going. Halfway through. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. We've got 1 more to go here for this last one. I will let you choose the exercise you want to do. If there's a particular one you like or enjoy or challenges you, the criteria doesn't matter, whatever you feel like doing for this last one. If you don't know what to do, you can follow along with me. I'm going to do the straight arm raise one that we did on the warm up. And we're doing this in 3, 2, 1. Off we go. That's it. Good work. I always like to see lots of different exercises going on. And we're halfway through. Nice work. Okay, we've got another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Oh, that one makes my arms ache a little bit. That one does. Good work though. So that's the end of our 10. We'll move on to this next bit here. I'll just set the timer up. So if you need a drink, you have time to do so. Okay, for this next bit, we do not need our poles. So if we can pop those down and just trying to do maths in my head, which is never a good thing. Yes, I remembered. Good. Alrighty then. So for this next bit here, we're going to do some movements that don't require the pole. And these are the our burpee alternative, our sit skis, and our sitting jacks. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to talk to you first of all about the adapted burpee. So essentially, if you know what a burpee is, it's where someone does a press up and then they jump up in the air. Now, I definitely can't demonstrate that, and I know that a lot of us here would not be able to follow it as well, which is absolutely fine. So our adapted version is to reach down however you can to the floor, and then you've got two options for coming up. You can either do it assisted by pushing on your lap and then reaching above your head, which is the equivalent of the jump. Or if you're able to, I'd recommend doing it where you reach down and then you use your lower back muscles to sit up. So you can either do it assisted by pushing up, or you can do it unassisted if you can, and then reaching up. And that's using more or less muscles that you may or may not be able to use. So that's our first exercise. The second one is sit skis, which is a little bit more straightforward. That's where we just swing our arms up and through like we're doing cross-country skiing, if you've ever seen that. And I think the Winter Olympics are coming up soon, so you'll probably definitely see it at some point. And then the last one that we do is the sitting jacks, which is essentially jumping jacks, but we're sitting. So we're calling them sitting jacks. And I think it was actually somebody from this class that gave me that idea for that name. So thank you for that person. Okay, so we're going to start with our adapted burpees here for the first one. And we're going in 15 seconds time. We're doing a minute on each, I should say. Yeah, so we're doing 5 minutes total, and I'll explain how we do it as we go through it. But we're going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So reaching down, reaching up, alternating between the two, the best that we can here. And again, if you need to assist, just use those hands. If you can do it without, I'd recommend doing it without. That's going to help you to work a little bit more muscles through that lower back, because we are using a lot of muscles to do this exercise. We're reaching down, we're using our core, we're using our shoulders, we're using our lower back, we're using our shoulders and arms, and everything's getting involved pretty much here. So it's just about doing this the best you can. Okay, we've got another 10 seconds here. And then we're going to move on to our sit skis. And that is in 3, 2, 1. Moving into the sit skis now. So swinging the arms up and through like we're doing that cross-country skiing, as I said. Trying to get those. I'll turn to the side as well. It might help to demonstrate it. Swing both arms up, both arms down. If you can't get your arms up above your head, just get to where you can. If that's head height, knee height, wherever you get to. Swinging it up, through, down, and back. And again, moving. And I can do a fair pace here as well with this. So usually I do give a pace, but over a course of 5 minutes and the movements that we're doing, you kind of naturally fall into that sort of 8 out of 10 sort of category here. But we've got another 5 seconds, and we're going to go back to our adapted burpees next. So back to the first exercise. Off we go. So reaching down, reaching up, repeating through. And again, we go the best you can here on this, however that looks for you. Good work. So, as I mentioned earlier in the session, we did interval training. That's where we go from hard work to easier work. Now, this one is more of what we would call a steady state training, which is more about getting your heart rate to a certain point and then holding it there. So we're not going massively fast now like we would with the 30 seconds on, 30 seconds off, but we're doing it for a long time without rest, which just changes up the exercise slightly and utilizes a different energy system. But we're going to be changing here to sitting jacks in 3, 2, 1. So into the sitting jacks now, moving the arms up above your head. I do have one thing to say about this, that if you have any sort of issues in your shoulders, this might be a difficult movement. And if that's the case, I would come up and forwards instead, or even just up straight in front of you, whatever you can do here. Do not push your shoulders past what they are capable of doing, especially if it's causing you any pain or discomfort already. Come up and forwards. That's going to just help to change the shoulder position slightly. But if you can come straight up, it should be okay, because it's a fairly natural, normal motion if you've got healthy shoulders. Okay, another 10 seconds here. Back to our adapted burpees. And 3, 2, 1, reaching down, reaching up. And this is our last minute of the 5 here. So we're going, keeping that good pace that we've been doing all the way through this. Looking fantastic. You guys have been doing great on this so far. Let's make sure we continue that all the way into the end of this here. Okay, we got another 20 seconds here. Let's make sure we're staying consistent all the way through to the end. Doing that good pace for another 10 seconds. A little bit early on that. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. So that's the end of that 5 minutes. Let's come and have a look at the time. Good. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to go back to the previous work. But instead of doing 10, we're going to bring it down to 6 minutes. So grab your poles again. So I know we're going yo-yo and back and forth between the two. We go back to do some interval training again. And we will be doing 30 seconds of maximum effort, 30 seconds of rest, 6 rounds this time. And we will get going here in 15 seconds time. Starting with the paddling forwards. Doing the best you can. 10 seconds to go. And 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Nice and fast. Good work, everybody. So we've alternated between interval training and steady state training. One's about getting the heart rate up as best you can and then resting in between. All about trying to hit that peak heart rate. And then the steady state training is trying to hold a consistent heart rate that's maybe not peak, but it's holding it consistent for a long time. We're going 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. So that's our first one of 6 here. Next one, same movement, opposite direction. Let's keep that pace up, keep that speed up, and doing the best you can here to really hit it as hard as you can. That's where you get the benefit on these 30 seconds ones that we're doing. It's all about trying to push yourself the best you can do. And we're going backwards in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. So really pushing yourself, getting your heart rate up, getting those arms moving, and doing the best you can here to challenge yourself as we go through this. Hold that pace that you've started. Don't let yourself drop off in the second half of this 30 seconds. Keep it moving all the way through to the end, which is in 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Great work, everybody. Let's do double arm forwards around together in the circle on this next one. Keeping that heart rate up. Keep pushing ourselves the best that you can do. Okay, 15 seconds to go. 10 seconds now. So both arms around together. Let's start to get things moving. Going in 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Hitting the ground running here. Nice and speedy. Getting those arms going around the best that you can do. And as fast as you can. Just really getting that heart rate up. You're doing really great work. Let's keep it pushing halfway through. And as I said on the previous one, don't let yourself drop off in the second half. Keep that heart rate elevated. Keep those arms moving. And really try and challenge yourself for the last 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work. Halfway through this 6. Next one, we're going to go opposite direction. We're doing the best we can still here, which from where I can see, you guys are doing great. So let's keep that effort level high. Same movement, opposite direction, but keeping that heart rate up on this one. Are you ready? We're going in 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. That's it. Good work. Doing really good here. 20 seconds to go. Keeping that pace up. Keeping those arms moving. Halfway now. Good work. All the way through to the end in 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Nice work. 2 more to go. The next one, we're going to do double arm forwards, double arm overhead. And then the last one, I'll get you to choose your exercise one more time for this. Are you ready? In, that was a bit soon there, 10 seconds from now. So double arm forwards, double arm overhead for this one in 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Nice work. Keep pushing it there. Good extension, good speed. Pushing yourself, pushing not just the arms, but pushing yourself mentally through this to keep that pace up the best that you can do. Keeping it going for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good stuff. Okay. One last one to go. As I said, for this last one, you can choose the exercise that you want to do. If you don't know what to choose, you can always follow along with me. And I'm going to do some alternating punches forward. So you can do that one, or if there's one you prefer, then feel free to do that. We are going here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Off we go. Getting those arms moving nice and quick. Whichever exercise you're doing here, this last one, and just moving through this the best that you can do. Looking good. Keeping those arms moving nice and fast all the way through. Halfway through this one. Don't let yourself drop off in this last interval that we're doing. Keeping it going. Fantastic work so far. All the way through. 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work, everybody. Let's pop those poles down again. We will not be needing them, but we're going to go one more time back to the previous one that we did, which is doing the adapted burpees, what happened there? Yeah, our adapted burpees, our sit skis, and our sitting jacks, but we're just going to do 1 minute on each, which is going to make 3 minutes. And that's going to bring us to the end of the session. So this is our last bit of hard work. I'm going to get this time aside so we make sure we've got plenty of room for cool down. So again, in 15 seconds time, starting with our adapted burpee. So reaching down, reaching up, the best that you can do here. Let's keep this going. Last 3 minutes of effort here that we're doing today. So let's do it well. 3, 2, 1, off we go. Reaching down, reaching up, the best that you can do. If you need the assistance by pushing off your lap, do so, but just keep that pace up, keep yourself moving at a nice speed. But if you can do it without the assistance, do so. Which today for me is doing a couple like that and then having to go back to assisted. So if you need to alternate between the two, that's not a problem. So we've got another 20 seconds here. And then on the next one, we're going into our sit skis in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, into the sit skis. For our second minute of this 3. Good work. Okay, coming up to halfway through this particular minute now. Good work. Another 15 seconds to go. Then we're into the sitting jacks and our final minute for today's effort. 3, 2, 1, into the sitting jacks. And last minute here. Remembering if you can't bring your arms up above, you can come in front or directly in front. Just doing what you can here to make sure we're moving nicely, but also protecting our shoulders, keeping things moving, keeping that heart rate up. Make sure we're challenging ourselves. Another 30 seconds to go here. Almost at the end of today's session. Let's make sure we're finishing this last 22 seconds well. And let's not let ourselves drop in pace now into the end, into this last 10 seconds. Almost there. Keep pushing it for another 4, 3, 2, 1. Resting there. Good work, everybody. Grab yourself a drink. Once you've had your drink, you can start with some breathing, which is going in through the nose, out through the mouth. And essentially what we're trying to do here is to calm that nervous system back down. So when we do our exercise, if your body has the ability to do so, it sends the adrenaline around the body, along with some other bits and pieces. It gets the heart rate up, keeps things moving, but it also puts our nervous system into the same as what is essentially fight or flight mode. And that's great for when we're exercising, keeps things moving, keeps all of our bodies focused on the exercise. But once we end the session, we don't want to be in that mode anymore because we don't want that to follow into the rest of our day. So we want to switch over to the other system, which is more about eating and sleeping and resting and essentially sending all the nutrients around our body. So the quicker we get into that, the quicker we can start recovering and to help us. So great way to do that is just the deep breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And that just essentially tells our brain we've got nothing to worry about. You can switch over to the other system and we can start to relax. So nice deep breathing at the end of this. And you'll soon feel the heart rate relax. You'll find that your nervous system starts to calm down and just be in a much more relaxed state. So keep that breathing going here for a little bit longer. And to help things along, we'll do a little bit of our neck mobility as well here to finish. So we'll do some looking up, looking down, going back and forth between the two, nice and gentle, nice and controlled. Nothing too crazy in terms of range of motion, just getting it moving is going to make a huge difference in terms of mobility in that neck and to help it keep it nice and healthy as well. Okay, let's go into some rotation next. So we look from one side over to the other, back and forth between the two. Nice work. And then let's go into our lateral flexion. That's we bring one ear to one shoulder, one ear to the other shoulder, back and forth. I don't know about anybody else, but I feel like I need to do a bit of shoulder rotation, so we can do that just to finish off there. Oh, my microphone might even pick up how clunky my shoulders are today. Ooh. And change direction. Excellent. Well, let's give that a nice little shake off there as we end today's session. Thank you again for joining me today.